Recently, JPMorgan doubled down on its bet on cryptocurrencies. JPMorgan stated that the rise of cryptocurrency acceptance will come at the expense of gold. At the same time, Bloomberg has indicated that while money is flowing into cryptos, there have been outflows from gold. This supports JPMorgan's position. However, in the short term, it's not doomsday for gold. And it's not fairy tales and unicorns for cryptos, as there's a good chance that Bitcoin prices have overshot and gold may be due for a bounce. So which is it, gold or Bitcoin? Well, let's take a look. For a disclosure, I did hold Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, or GBTC, but recently sold beginning at $18 a share up to $21 a share. I'm going to go back, but I'm going to wait for the cycle to reach its lows. According to JP Morgan, they believe the near-term outlook for Bitcoin is skewed to the downside as momentum declines, and I agree. JP Morgan believes that unless Bitcoin prices resume the uptrend and quickly rise above $20,000, its momentum signal would mechanically decline further over the next couple of months or so. Again, I agree. And so, as you can see here from this chart, although there is a nice stair-step upward move for Bitcoin, the current move appears to be losing momentum. So I'm going to wait for it to come back and reset. And Bitcoin contrasts with the corresponding picture for gold as this chart shows. You can see that the momentum of the traders' positions in gold has recently turned upward. We'll see more when we get to our charts a little bit later, but for now, it appears that gold may be nearing the end of its consolidation. And one major reason for the ascent of Bitcoin is the adoption of Bitcoin by institutional investors, which has only begun, while for gold, its adoption by institutional investors is very advanced. Most institutional investors have zero exposure to Bitcoin. Those who do have exposure to Bitcoin hold only a small amount of about 1 to 3% of their assets. But on a global scale, and considering the total amount of assets under management, Bitcoin's share is only about 0.18% of assets, while gold is about 3.3% share. So now let's go take a look at the charts for gold and Bitcoin. And we're now looking at a 2-year weekly chart on gold, or at least the Spider's gold shares. The symbol is GLD, and we're using stockcharts.com. As I had indicated in the prelude to the charts, gold may have a bottom basing and a bounce coming here in, say, the near to mid-term. And as you can see here, the top came on down here, and it's just hovering above the 50 MA. I would say it's going to take a few more weeks at least before we maybe base bottom, and then even a little bit longer before we turn up. But watch the MAC. The fast line has run through the slow line, came on down here, and it looks like it's trying to bottom and base. You can see here with the histogram that these bars are just barely starting to reduce. But you want the reduction to come up closer to that zero line. You also want the fast line to move down to the zero line and bottom and base here. And then your signal would be when the fast line crosses through the slow line on the way up. But once again, it looks like gold, its consolidation may be nearing an end, then we may turn and head higher. So now let's go to the chart for Bitcoin. And now we're looking at the 2-year weekly chart on the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and this is the best proxy that I have for you for Bitcoin. And the symbol is GBTC. Once again, we're looking at stockcharts.com. Now, as opposed to gold, which looks like it might bottom and base and perhaps head higher, it looks like Bitcoin is exhausting its move from down here all the way up here. There's a bit of consolidation at this level here, and I'm thinking things are going to turn maybe here in the near or midterm as well. You can see here that the difference between the fast line and the slow line looks like there may be a little bit more upside, but looking at the histogram, is starting to decline. So I took my position off in the last week or so, and I'll just wait to see if Bitcoin does turn head down and consolidates once again. But as with gold, watch the fast line move up, start to turn and curve, and then head down through that slow line and head back down to that zero line, hopefully, and bottom and base for that cycle to begin again. And so whether you are a gold bug or a Bitcoin bug, you have some possibilities for both gold in the near term and Bitcoin maybe a little bit later. And for today, that's ChewDog Charts. Thank you.